if I can record. Yes, it's recording.
There we go.
All
Got
right.
it.
So, Andrea, for
Yes.
Emmeline's benefit, are you on your laptop?
Yes.
Can you share your screen and show
Yes.
her how to get to the application?
Oh, okay.
Because when I do it, it doesn't look like it looks on your end.
Okay.
As a non-student.
Let me pull it up and I will definitely share that. Okay. I know I have it saved under PTKs.
Oh, yeah. Toggle down to the bottom of your screen first, if you don't mind, Andrea, and just click share screen.
All right.
So Emmeline can see everything that you're doing. There you go. Okay. Oh, that's an old message if it's from Veronica.
Yes, it is.
She hasn't worked here in like a couple of years. Should be able to find it on ptk.org.
Yes.
We also put it on the PTK.
I swear I saved the link somewhere.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you go to if you go to the Coconino Community College website.
Yep.
I mean, you could find it there too. Go under scholarships, actually. Yeah, I am transferring. It should be. You're scanning down very quickly. Could you go back up? Back up. Should be under scholarship. Bachelor's degree. Because where you'll be going to get a bachelor's degree.
Associate's degree, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
No, bachelor's degree. Because that's the degree you're gonna be pursuing, right?
Yes.
So scan down. All USA academic
All
team.
USA academic team scholarships. There we go. Lucy, hush.
Okay, there you go. Okay, and then click on Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Academic team. And then scan down, log in to apply. If you didn't take notes on all of that, Emmeline, don't worry. I am recording.
Right. So it's
all right.
I mean, you can see the web address, scholarships.ptk.org.
Right. Okay. So can you so you started
Yes.
You've started it, you just haven't completed it. So
Correct.
So you've done under activities. All right. So you're going to have to talk about the impact of your PTK membership. In other words, what have you done in PTK? What officers' positions have you held? In your case, Andrea, you're currently VP of Leadership. You've been VP of, sorry, I don't remember, scholarship and something else as well, right?
Yeah, I know I've done it for at least 3 semesters.
Right. You've just say, I think you've been VP of scholarship and VP of VP of Leadership. I know you also worked on last year. You haven't worked on this year's HIA project, but you worked on last year's HIA project.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've done a lot of stuff. You've also worked on a crap ton of service projects for sure. So this is where you get to talk in 250 words or less, everything that you've done for PTK, which
Okay.
both of you should be able to fill out very, very easily.
Very quick and easy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do 250 word English projects all
Okay.
the time. So it should be
Yep.
quick and easy.
Quick and easy.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
This
So,
is not one of the ones I'm worried about.
okay. And you shouldn't be, because this is one of the easy ones. Now, continue scrolling down. Okay. Yeah, actually go to the next one. Go to the next one. Volunteerism. Okay. So this one's new. It's
Yeah.
specifically like during the COVID-19 pandemic, how did you volunteer your time? I don't know that that necessarily implies that it has to be connected to the pandemic, but just talk about how you volunteered in different ways, right? You can, Andrea,
Non-PTK though?
huh?
Non-PTK, sorry.
Here, I would actually, if you've got something that's non-PTK related, I would mention that. So you could
Okay.
talk about your work with disking for kids, for example.
Yeah.
Emmeline, can you have you volunteered for anything not PTK related?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, well then you fill in something PTK related.
Okay.
That's just that's what you've got to do. It will strengthen your application if you can think of anything that you've done, because the other one already talked about PTK, but you're kind of double dipping there. They're wanting to see a well-rounded person, a person who's engaged in their community a lot of different ways. Obviously, PTK is a major time commitment, and everybody understands that. But if you can think of anything at all that you've done that's not PTK related, maybe something connected to a religious group, maybe something, anything, anything that you've done, that would be where you put that in there. But if you have to, just go to a PTK event.
Okay.
So do not leave anything blank. That's one thing that I would emphasize. Do not leave anything blank
In any application for anything.
in any application. Continue scrolling down, Andrea. Okay. And so again, this question is basically asking you, what has your current involvement in volunteerism taught you about your passion for leadership? In other words, what have you learned about yourself as a leader? For example, for Emmeline, I know that you've worked for the HIA project. Like, you can talk about how you've grown as a researcher in the course of working on 2 different HIA projects. You've learned how to do original research in professional sources, how to identify different types of sources, how to cite them accurately, how to synthesize complex information, blah, 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 blah. Andrea, you could talk about, one thing that I would describe as a strength for you, Andrea, is like you've done research, you've learned research skills as well. You are also a self-starter, in my opinion. I can think of 2 great examples. One, your work for disking for kids, right? But another great example, you're the one who came up with the idea of the Adopt an Avenue program. You are the reason why we do Adopt an Avenue. And by the way, I'll mention that in my letter of recommendation for you. Okay. So like that was your baby, your idea. So, so obviously come up with a good solid paragraph or two for each of those.
Yes, okay.
Then for volunteer activities, then you can list, this just down below, continue scrolling down. You all are going to fill this out on your own.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Okay,
fill
yeah, you've
some of
already
this out.
started. You've already started to do that.
Uh-huh.
You've
Can
already
you
started.
think of anything else? Well, I guess we could put the blood drive.
Yeah, blood drive.
We could put the
Absolutely.
blood drive, and
By the
we could
time the
put
scholarship
the-
committee reviews this, you'll have done that already.
and as well as the warm clothing drive.
Yeah, I'd leave that off. Well, I don't know. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it, and there's a space that isn't filled out. So
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Put the warm
Right.
clothes, and the same thing goes for you, Emmeline.
and we've done that a few years.
Are both of you going to volunteer for the blood drive this? Emmeline, are you going to volunteer for the blood drive this Thursday?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I put my
Okay, so
time
put
in the
that down.
schedule.
Put that down. That you volunteered for the blood drive. You're both going to work on the warm clothing drive. You could both put an hour or two down for that. So you guys have done a lot of stuff. Make sure you fill in all. Can you scroll back up, Andrea, for a second? Let me see the top of this grid.
Mhm.
So dates participated, hours per week. Yeah. Okay.
That's a really hard one. Hours per week. That's a hard one.
It's estimated, and everybody understands that.
Yeah.
It's estimated. So make sure that you don't leave any section completely blank. You don't have to have 5 Emmeline, if you can't think of 5 volunteering activities that you've done, as long as you have like 3 PTK related activities, it'll be okay. But don't worry terribly much about that. Okay.
Okay.
But just put down as much as you can.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is all stuff I've done this year. I mean,
Yeah.
no reason to go any further back than that, right?
Yes. Correct. Okay. So go next for now. Okay, so now we're on to the significant endeavor. Let me see what the word limit on this is.
I think it's
500.
500. Yeah.
Okay. So and by the way, let me emphasize this. The significant endeavor essay is the most important.
It seems like it is.
Yeah, I asked the other members of the scholarship committee if I could show you all the weight that is put on this in the rubric. They said no, that would be an unfair advantage.
Okay.
But I can tell you it is the most important element of this award.
That's what I got out of it.
And you want to shoot for filling it up as much of those 500 words as possible. What I am going to do, I'm going to let you share it. I'm going to let you share your screen again, Andrea, but for now, can you unshare and let me show you all something?
Okay.
Okay.
Stop share.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not 100% sure if I'm supposed to do this, but they didn't tell me I couldn't. So I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways.
I like it.
All right. Do you all remember Jake Zimmerman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jake Zimmerman had one of the best applications that we've ever seen submitted for
He
this.
was our president last semester, right?
Yeah, he was our president not last semester, but that was Josh, but last year.
Okay, last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this here is his significant endeavor essay. It's 497 words. So like he came up almost right up to the limit. He talks about, well, first let me show you what the significant endeavor essay is supposed to be all about. Then
Okay.
I'll tell you
Also,
why
yeah,
this is
all I can
significant.
see is your email screen right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let me share my screen. So this is what the significant endeavor essay prompt asks you to do. And I can definitely share this with you because it's not
Proprietary.
it's not proprietary. It's on the application. Everybody can see it. It says, describe a time that you identified a significant need and took the lead to create a meaningful solution that impacted your community, society, or school. What was the need or problem? How did you create the solution? And how did you involve others? Okay. Describe the steps that you took to arrive at a solution. Who was involved in this project? So you talk about other people that you might have worked with. The impact data and numbers that quantify your outcome. So if you have some sort of quantitative measurement of the outcome, that's great. If you don't worry about it. Okay, you don't lie. Definitely don't lie. Don't put anything untrue on the essay because that'll get you in trouble, potentially serious trouble. So only stuff that's true. You can definitely gild the lily, so to speak. Like you can definitely want to put your best foot forward, but don't state anything that's untrue. Okay.
Like interviews, of course.
Like with interviews, right?
Yes.
So like if you have quantitative information, talk about that. And then how you applied academic or intellectual skills to this endeavor. So those are the four major things that the essay asks you to describe. Steps that you took to arrive at the solution, who you worked with, what your outcome was, and what skills you used. What academic or intellectual skills. This endeavor could involve an intellectual challenge, research problem, ethical dilemma, barrier, or something that impacted you personally. It may be rooted in community service or learning, research, the arts, journalism, advocacy, public affairs, etc. Judges consider originality, initiative, degree of difficulty, and the results and benefit to society. And if I could emphasize one part, I'd emphasize that there, the results and benefit to society. You need to tell us about something that had a tangible result. A tangible result.
Okay. So say like say like maybe an assignment you did for a class that elicited a extreme amount of response from students. That would not be something that results in benefits to society.
Well, can you tell me a little bit more about what you're talking about?
So I'm taking women's lit this year, and I have developed I've developed a skill for poetry. I've written some poetry on COVID and personal matters, rewritten the Statue of Liberty's poetic invitation. I forget what it's called, the Colossal. And I got a huge amount of feedback from my fellow students.
Okay. So I'm not saying that's bad. But I honestly, Andrea, I think that you have a lot more that you could talk about than that.
Okay.
So
I'm just wondering, there is one of these questions are COVID based.
Yeah.
That how did you volunteer during COVID, blah, blah, blah. I'm just
So-
wondering if I could plug in my COVID poem there and it would
Your
be,
COVID what now?
my COVID poem that I wrote, and it would be
Yeah, so I
something.
wouldn't.
No, sounds like the answer to that is no.
It's not, I'm not telling you you can't, but here's the thing, Andrea, I want you to get money,
Yeah,
all right? You want to get money, don't you?
yes. I don't like.
So I want to give you
I
the
like
best.
money.
I want to give both of you, okay, I can't promise it. Obviously, I can't promise anything. But what I want to do for both of you is give both of you the best chance of winning this scholarship that I possibly can as your advisor. That's my goal. So I can tell you what they're looking for. And as a matter of fact,
Let's
they
see.
even say it here. Hold on. Here, I'm going to show you something else. This is from ptk.org, which describes what a significant essay endeavor essay is. And so this is public domain. When reading a scholarship application, judges often ask what the need or problem was. Why did the student undertake a project or endeavor? The endeavor could involve an intellectual challenge, research problem, ethical dilemma, barrier, or something that impacted the student personally. It may be rooted in community service, research, the arts, journalism, advocacy, etc. Judges do consider, okay, this is all stuff that you've read already. Generally speaking, judges are looking for students that go above and beyond. Students writing about getting into college or working while going to school don't make much of an impression. So we're wanting something that separates you from the pack, right? So if you're talking about like an excellent assignment that you turned in, well, we expect that you turn in excellent assignments
Sure.
because you're
We're
an honor student.
PTK. We have
You're-
3.5 or above. Yes.
Right. You're an excellent student by definition.
Right.
So like instead of that, so unless that assignment turned into some sort of service thing that benefited the community, I wouldn't focus on that. That's my recommendation to you. Instead, I'd focus on something like the Adopt an Avenue program. And by the way, you can, for the significant endeavor essay, you can talk about something that you did for PTK.
Okay.
So that's what Jake did. Jake talked all about his work on the HIA project, the glass recycling project, which Emmeline, you also worked on.
Okay.
So
Did he-
Emmeline, if you wanted to talk about your role on last year's HIA project, since this one isn't finished yet, you could talk about that.
Did he get awarded the scholarship, Matthew?
Yes, he was the
Okay.
top recipient.
Okay.
Jake got one of the highest scores collectively across the board that anybody has ever received.
Really?
From what I've been told.
Okay.
So it's not a bad model to follow.
Are we going to be provided that model to follow?
I don't know that I can show you his whole application. I don't know that would be fair. What I can tell you is basic. I don't know if I should show you a significant endeavor essay or not, because technically not everybody else is going to see that. You know what? I was going to do it, but I'm
That's
afraid
fine.
of getting in trouble.
Compromise your moralities, my friend.
But what I can
That's
tell you
fine.
is what he did.
Okay.
He did a little personal intro in the first paragraph. He talked about his time in Israel, serving in the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, and everything that taught him.
We can't touch that, Matthew.
Huh?
We can't touch that.
Why not?
He served.
Okay. All right, that's fine. But you've served in other ways. Andrea,
Okay.
you've worked for Disking for Kids. You've worked for Habitat for Humanity. Andrea, how many kids have you raised?
2.
You're raising 2 kids while you're a single mom who's raising 2 kids while putting yourself through college, while working what, full time?
Yeah, I have to be
Well-
honest with you. I think I'd rather go into battle than do all the things that I have done.
So there you go.
Okay,
Don't
thank you,
sell
Matthew.
yourself short.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Andrea, you're awesome. Emmeline, you're awesome. Okay. You are both awesome people
Thank you,
who've done a
Matthew.
lot of work and who have succeeded beyond what the vast majority of my students at CCC have done, or are capable of doing. Okay, you are both awesome. The purpose, what I'm just trying to do is to help you put out what I'm trying to do is help you put together an application that shows how awesome you are.
Okay.
And while I can't guarantee that that's going to result in the All Arizona Scholarship, I want to help you put together the application that's going to give you the best possible opportunity. Okay? That's the goal here.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
So Andrea, my recommendation would be to talk about either your work for Disking for Kids, or what have you done for Habitat for Humanity? Volunteered, or did you played a leadership role there?
Yeah, so I was given the opportunity to do a summer volunteer project management internship with them, but the project was spearheaded by a fellow student of mine who had just graduated the year before and got assigned project manager, and there was problem after problem, so I didn't get a chance to do a whole lot, actually.
Okay,
It was
so let's scrap.
disappointing.
Okay, scrap that then. It's a nice
Okay.
item on your resume, but let's not write about it. Let's talk
Okay.
about let's talk about the Adopt an Avenue program,
Okay.
right? Because not only did you come up with the idea, you also took the initiative to research it, right? As I recall, you researched Flagstaff's Adopt an Avenue program. You made the first point of contact with the people at City Hall. You found out who ran the program. This is all according to my memory, right?
I think Sarah did all of that.
You think Sarah did all that?
I think she did most of that.
Okay. Well,
I
you
don't-
can't.
I don't want to be dishonest, but yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I came up with the idea.
You came
I
up
did
with the
do
idea.
a tiny bit of research, but Sarah pretty much made it happen.
Okay. So you partnered with your then PTK advisor, Sarah
Uh-huh.
Southwick, in researching Flagstaff's Adopt an Avenue program, identifying an avenue that was close to CCC, which would be a good candidate for us to clean up on a regular basis. That program has resulted in 2 cleanups thus far, which the first time I can tell you we had, I'm not sure the exact number, but let's say a dozen participants. It was at least a dozen. And the second time I think we had 10. I can be your source for that.
Okay.
And we're committed to participating in that indefinitely, right? It's an indefinite
Right.
commitment.
Yeah. And then that was the
And
idea.
you've been a part of it yourself.
Yes, and that was the idea of why I proposed it, is because it was a long-term option for volunteering.
Right. And okay, and here's how you can link, Andrea, here's a way that you can link your personal experience with the initiative. Okay. You can talk about how, your experiences as a working mother of two and full-time community college student, or oh, sorry, you go part-time, right?
No, I've been
You've been full-time?
pretty much full-time the entire
Okay.
time, yes.
All right, so my experience, after you've given a brief bio of yourself, you talk about my experiences as a full-time mother of two and working
And
college student have given me a greater appreciation for the value of a clean and healthy environment in which to raise children. Okay, there you go. You're stroking those heartstrings on the judges.
Yes.
Right there.
Okay.
Right. And consequently, I was inspired to research ways to improve the quality of life. There you go. Nice buzzword there. To improve the quality of life for Flagstaff, for all of Flagstaff's residents, including children. All right. And this led me to Flagstaff's Adopt an Avenue program. And then you go on to describe how you came up with the idea, how you partnered with Sarah Southwick, your then advisor at the time, to come up with this program that's now resulted in 2 trash cleanups, volunteerism opportunities for 12 people the first time and 10 people the second time, and an indefinite commitment to maintain South Paseo de Flag by CCC's PTK chapter going forward. All right.
Okay.
So, Emmeline,
Thank you.
for your significant endeavor activity, I would recommend that you talk about, particularly since we haven't completed this one and we're still not exactly sure what our action component is going to be. You, me, and David have to work all of that out. I would recommend that you talk about last year's HIA project, since that was successfully completed and you did play a key role in that, right?
Yeah.
So you can talk about, last year, the 2019 to 2020, during the 2020 BTK year, I served on the HIA committee, the Honors and Action Committee, researching the topic of glass recycling. During that time, I had an opportunity to hone my skills as an academic researcher, to learn how to identify reliable academic sources, to accurately cite them, to synthesize complex information, and to formulate an action component that will be of benefit to our community. Our HIA project resulted in a detailed report that was submitted to the district governing board of Coconino Community College, recommending various steps to be taken to improve glass recycling here at Flagstaff, including, you can talk about, the placement of glass recycling bins around campus, which was one of the things that we recommended. It didn't actually happen, but you don't necessarily need to say that. It didn't happen because the district governing board couldn't get their freaking thumbs out of their butts and read the darn thing. But we as a chapter made a recommendation, and we also offered the funds to pay for the glass receptacle. So it's not our fault that they didn't take action. Don't say that. Even though I'm
Okay.
don't say that, even though I'm still a little bit resentful of the fact that they didn't take action, even though there would have been no cost to the college for doing so. But you can say we also appropriated funds from the PTK budget to, or earmarked funds from the PTK budget to pay for these receptacles and so on. So those are the types of things that you guys could talk about. All right.
Okay.
All right. Ethical leadership. This is another mini essay. I think it's also a 250 word. Let me stop my share. Andrea, can you share your screen again? So
Okay,
go down to scroll down below the significant endeavor essay. There should be something about ethical leadership. Go back, go to the next page.
financial barriers, educational goals.
Yeah. Well, that's weird. Maybe they've changed the application. I thought that there was a place where they asked you, explain what you believe the most pressing ethical leadership challenge facing those serving in your field today. How can you exercise positive leadership to combat this challenge? If that's not there anymore, then don't worry about it. I thought it was. Maybe they've changed the form.
Okay.
So
God, so this is what makes it hard to use PTK stuff as a significant endeavor, is this one right here. Discuss the impact of your PTK membership.
okay, I know. So, but Jake did, and he got the scholarship.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry about that. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't only use PTK stuff.
Okay.
I would use PTK and make sure that you also indicate other areas that you've been involved in volunteering activities. Okay. So, and you already have, Andrea. Go to Fall app. Click on Fall app. Maybe it's there, that ethical leadership thing. No, that's significant.
Endeavor. Letter of
Okay.
recommendation.
Okay.
Transcript.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, what I want both of you to do, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to work on both of your letters of recommendation. I can tell you the letter of recommendation isn't a lot of points, but it is
Compared to the
important.
endeavor.
Not compared to the endeavor, but it is important nonetheless. So definitely. So give me tonight to work on that. For you, Andrea, it's going to be a matter of kind of updating the letter that I already did for you.
First office.
I'd like, Emmeline, you haven't done this yet, but do you have a full resume that you could send me?
Yeah, I can send you my resume.
Okay, send me your resume along with your current GPA and send it to me via Canvas email.
Okay.
And I'm gonna write up a letter for both of you. Okay, and I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow. What I would like both of you to do, if at all possible, is by tomorrow afternoon, write up your significant endeavor essay and send it to me. And I'm going to review it, and I'll send it to me as a Word document, a Microsoft Word document I'm going to review it and edit it to the best of my ability and make suggestions about how you could maybe tweak it to put your best foot forward.
I can do that.
And that's what I will do. And also, okay, also send me your, if you can, if you have the time and the ability. Remember, you've got to get all of this in by, I think it's
By
5
Friday.
o'clock, 5 o'clock on Friday.
By Friday, yeah.
So really shoot for getting it done by Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. Also send me your 250-word volunteerism essay, talking about some volunteer activity that you've worked on, if you can, by tomorrow afternoon. And then I'll go over both of those things and give you the best insight and the best feedback that I can to help you put your best foot forward. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah.
I can definitely do that as your PTK advisor. Guys, I can tell you, just as a personal note, after this semester, I am going to be stepping back as a PTK advisor. It's just gotten to be a bit much, particularly with Sarah leaving. So that's part of the reason why I've brought on Aaron and Noah and Derek and Janan to sort of train. Huh?
Sarah did a lot.
Sarah did a lot, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much she did until I had to do it all.
Yeah. I felt like that might be the case.
So yeah, Sarah was amazing. She had an amazing capacity for juggling multiple things. But I'm already juggling 6 classes and 3 other committee assignments besides PTK.
So sad.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter for either of you, because for both of you, this is your last full year as well. I guess you might continue to be involved next semester. I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
I will.
You will?
I will.
Okay.
Sounds like it's going to be a little bit different of a platform, but heck, if you can't handle change, what are you doing?
Well, I've been trying to, but I want you to know that you two, working with the two of you, has been one of the more rewarding aspects of my time as a PTK advisor, which now I'm finishing up my 3rd year. You're 2 of the best students that I've had.
Oh, thanks, Matthew.
And I really appreciate both of you and all the hard work that you've put in. And that's why I want to do this. I want to go out on a high note. I'd like for us to be able to finish up our year as a 5-star chapter again, if we possibly can. But I especially want to give you guys the best crack that I can give you at this scholarship. And also keep in mind, I'm willing to serve as a reference or a letter writer for other scholarship opportunities besides this one for both of you. So
thanks, Matthew. You want to George Costanza it, huh? Leave on a high note.
Yes, I want to leave. I want to leave on a high note to the best of my ability. That's the objective.
Yes.
So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.